Okay, so for this video, we're going to be talking about the core and how to better engage the core when we are upright. Of course, you can do many things on your back, including sit-ups and crunches, although those aren't for everyone, and certainly they're not the most functional of exercises. So if you're looking to enhance your posture and specifically be able to hold yourself up, stabilize so you can reach, lift, and do all the things you need to do without collapsing or having pain, you want to be very aware of how to use the core in that way. So that's what this video will be focused on, is how to better engage your core and how to better train your core to be stronger and more stable and have better control of movement when you are doing things, so that you're not hurting yourself or not feeling weak or incapable of doing everyday things, or some things that may be more than the everyday. So here we go. So you want to think about being able to ground yourself on the floor. Think about your tripods, your arches. It's really important to be able to kind of ground off, especially when you're doing things more unilaterally. So we're going to do things more in that vein today, because being upright, it's very hard to, at least in sitting, it's hard to be able to lift both legs up like this without having to like lean back as I just did there. So we're just not going to go there. That's a much more advanced technique. Certainly it's something you could do on your back, which you could consider as far as trying to train yourself that way. So we're gonna do one leg at a time. Again, think of all the shift lifting, anchoring in that tripod, pulling in here, back in the glute, outer hip kind of thing, lifting up here. And so think about the bra line here. That's when, as you're lifting this up, and your whole body as well, it's important that you don't like lean or collapse. You wanna stay tall and come across. You could use arms for support here to start if you're not as stable, or if it's painful for any reason. So we're anchoring those lower ribs back, not necessarily against the chair, although if you had something right behind you, you could, and coming up across here. So it's almost like you imagine somebody standing like a kickboxer or something when they're kind of working the heavy bag there, kind of driving maybe a knee or a kick like this, but it's from there, stabilized. So I'm driving my left hip back, the leverage down through my butt and my heel, and driving my pelvis on this side up and forward with my knee and leg attached. And I want to feel that core really engaging quite well there. So that's the idea. So that's the more advanced one, coming across like that, but we could do a more simplified version of just pushing more down and back to leverage my pelvis and my leg up and forward. So I'm still kind of going in that twist, but it's not as exaggerated. So I want to shift my weight, leverage, and then lift, twist here, okay? So I can throw my weight. Now I could make it more of a tightening and actually drive my elbow. Now I don't want to come down. Again, I don't want to do a crunch or like a bicycle crunch kind of thing where I'm kind of collapsing that way, because that defeats the purpose of holding yourself up. So you got to tension all those muscles to hold you up, and more rotation. So it's a lift, or in this case, shift, lift, and rotate. So it's like our jar when we open our the pickle jar, the lid, right? But I'm bringing my lower half across instead of just stabilizing both legs, so I can come across like this. Now again, you may want to do this slow to start. Don't just like whip it in and like collapse. You want to be in control, and I'm driving back and down here as I come across, and I'm actually lifting up through my body. And that's when I'm going to really feel my core, is with the lifting up. I'm anchoring back through my ribs and my hips and down through my heel, my foot there, and leveraging up across. And I can go this way, and I can go back and forth, right? And I can go this way, back and forth, right? That's the more advanced. Or again, like, right, I could go like that, driving kind of towards each other, but maybe not as exaggerated, of like simulating like a walking or a marching, staying tall as I do that. Or I could come up here, right? Or I could come up here. As I go higher and higher with my arms and my upper body, the more challenging it becomes for the core. So start low, right? Or maybe here, work your way up, right? Maybe here, right? Or across the chest, right? Like that, and then working up, okay? And then finally, we can do this against the wall. You won't be able to see me from the front, but I'll see you from the rear. So again, starting low, maybe just a straight here. I can even find the wall and press straight into it with my knee. And as I lift tall, and I can bring my arms up, and pushing through my hands as well, pushing through my hands to get more core, okay? Or I can come across and go higher and higher, right? And again, as I lift up here, I'm gonna be pushing back, anchoring there, and feel the leverage through all that and really feel it in the core.